It is 7 minutes past the hour. The Edmund Fitzgerald remains one of the most enduring stories on the Great Lakes. A ship lost in the fury of a November storm and 29 lives forever remembered. Today, thousands are in Whitefish Point to honor the lives that were lost. 13 on your sides, Blake Hansen is there right now with the preview. Blake, good morning or good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon to you as well, Tanner. Sitting behind me is where the afternoon public ceremony for the 50th anniversary of the Edmund Fitzgerald will take place. And over the past few hours, we've been here all morning long. People are steadily coming to the grounds here at the Great Lakes Shipwreck Museum. But again, it's been 50 years since the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I analyzed its final voyage back on November 9th and 10th and the weather that ultimately led to its fate. On the evening of November 10th, 1975, one of the largest freighters on the Great Lakes at the time, the Edmund Fitzgerald, disappeared into the icy depths of Lake Superior, never to surface again. The wreck rests about 17 miles northwest of Whitefish Point, Michigan, in Canadian waters. And even now, 50 years later, in the words of Gordon Lightfoot, the legend lives on. The Edmund Fitzgerald first set sail in 1958, measuring more than 729 feet in length, larger than most modern freighters on the lakes today. It was known as a sturdy, dependable hauler of taconite iron ore. But on November 9th, it departed on what would become its final voyage, straight into the teeth of a massive November gale. It all started with a developing low-pressure system over the Central Plains on November 9th, 1975. As it raced toward the upper Great Lakes, it deepened rapidly. Classic gales of November. It continued to strengthen on November 10th, creating dangerous conditions over the open waters of Lake Superior. By evening, as the Fitzgerald neared the shelter of Whitefish Bay, winds were sustained around 55 miles per hour, with gusts reported near 80 miles per hour by the nearby Arthur M. Anderson. Waves exceeded 20 feet across southeastern Lake Superior, with some swells of 25 feet, driven nearly perpendicular to the positioning of the Fitzgerald's path. Captain McSorley's final message to the Arthur M. Anderson was short and steady: "We are holding our own." Only minutes later, the Edmund Fitzgerald disappeared beneath the waves, claiming all 29 aboard. The ship's final position aligned almost perfectly with the storm's most violent phase. 2 decades later, in 1995, the final dive to the wreck was made, recovering the ship's bell in honor of the crew. Years later, the Canadian government placed strict restrictions on diving and sonar work at the site. Out of nearly 6,000 known shipwrecks on the Great Lakes, the Edmund Fitzgerald stands apart and continues to capture the public's imagination. While storms of this strength continue to strike the Great Lakes, advances in forecasting and weather observation have significantly improved safety over the past several decades, helping modern ships avoid such tragic fates. 50 years have passed since the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald, yet the legend lives on. And of course, there's just a lot of emotion still here. 50 years later, you can really feel the heaviness here at Whitefish Point. We actually spoke, Tanner, to one of the daughters of a crew member that was on the Edmund Fitzgerald back on November 10th, 1975. And you could just really feel that emotion, and by many other people as well. But again, public ceremony here at 2 o'clock. You can hear they're doing some mic checks right now, and then they will have a private ceremony later this evening at 7 for the family and close friends of those on the ship back 50 years ago.
All right, meteorologist Blake Hansen reporting live for us at Whitefish Point ahead of that remembrance ceremony. Again, those lives that were lost 50 years ago today with the Edmund Fitzgerald. Blake, we appreciate your reporting. We'll be checking in throughout the evening as well. And we are going to have continuing coverage on the 50th anniversary online and on air starting tonight at 5. Let's go. We're going to check the weather here in just a few minutes. Actually, let's go there now with Sam.
Outside.